Hi everybody, I'm Chef Ben from howtonotburnshit.com, and today we are going to make dry rub oven roasted pork ribs with potato salad and a quick coleslaw. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. Okay, so we have our ribs here, and before we can do anything, we got to clean them up because they're, there's this chunk of meat here. There's the chin bone here. So we got to take all that off and get them nice and clean. I recommend that you do this. I know that at home you probably would just start cooking this, but if you do this, you're going to have a much more enjoyable experience when you eat them. I promise. So all I'm going to do is take a sharp knife. I'm using a boning knife, but you can use a chef knife or anything. And we're just going to kind of pull this off. And it comes off very easily. You're not cutting through bone or anything like that. You're just going to pull this off. Okay, so that just comes off like that, and you may find that that's not on your ribs, but it is on mine. Now there's this bit of meat here. We're going to take that off, just clean it up. We're not going to throw any of this away. We're going to use it later on. We'll put it in the freezer. We'll use it for stock or soup or something like that, or even chop it up for a stir fry. Okay, so we're just going to pull all this excess meat off, and now all that's really left to come off is this membrane, this white bit. If you leave that on, it's pretty gross to eat. In fact, it doesn't really break down in cooking. So all we're going to do is kind of loosen it up. And then you can generally just kind of pull it off in big strips. Just like that. It's slippery, but you can get it. So we're just going to finish taking this off. And again, you don't have to do this. This is not like an absolute necessity, but it'll definitely make your ribs better. Okay, so we have that membrane off. Now we're just going to split our ribs in two. We're going to make our rub. Okay, we're going to make our dry rub. So we're going to start with about a quarter cup, about a half cup of brown sugar. And to that we're going to add a quarter cup of white sugar. About 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. About 3 tablespoons. Some fresh ground black pepper. And now some spices. So we're going to add about a tablespoon of cumin. I like it spicy. If you don't like it spicy, you can omit this or add a little less. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of chili powder. Not chili powder. So there's 2 kinds of chili powder. There's ground chilies and then there's chili powder. Chili powder is actually a blend. It has like cumin, coriander, a little bit of chili in it. It's like a Mexican seasoning, Mexican styled seasoning. Use like ground chilies or real chili powder. I'm using Kashmiri chili powder, which is ground Kashmiri chilies. Very spicy. It's very good. You can find it at your like Asian grocery store or Indian grocery store. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of onion salt. You can also use onion powder. That's just what I have at the moment. I'm going to use about half a teaspoon ground ginger. About half a teaspoon ground garlic. Quarter teaspoon, no, about half a teaspoon of cinnamon. What else do we have here? Allspice, just about a quarter teaspoon. These are obviously not exact measurements. I'm using the back of a spoon to do it, but it's not really about exact measurements. I'm going to go about 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg. And finally, about a teaspoon of mustard powder. Okay, and now we're just going to mix this all up. Okay, it smells good. Tastes delicious. Yeah, tastes really good. So, I'm going to take a nice big piece of parchment paper, and we're going to lay one of our ribs down. We're going to start on the bottom, so the part that we took the membrane off of. We're just going to literally rub this in. Make sure you get it in all the nooks and crannies. Make sure you get it on the ends of the ribs. Okay. We're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing. And I'm pouring it on carefully, not digging my hands in there, because if there's any rub left, I want to be able to save it. It'll last forever. But if I get, a bunch of rib juice in there, it's not gonna work. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull over a second piece of parchment paper. We're going to put these ribs on that. And we're going to bring our other ribs over and kind of collect all of this excess. We don't want the ribs to be swimming in rub, right? We just want a nice, generous coating. So to wrap these up, we're just going to fold our parchment, fold our parchment, just like that. Then we're going to take a dish, put our ribs in. We're going to bake these on 300 degrees for about 2.5 to 3 hours. That's it. Okay, it's been about 2.5 hours and the ribs just dinged, so we're going to pull them out and check them. While they were in the oven, I cooked some potatoes and some eggs, and we're going to make some potato salad, but I want to check the ribs first. Okay, so they're pretty much done. The meat's very soft. So what I'm going to do is actually take them out of the package. They're beautiful. Okay, so the ribs are done, and I'm just going to wrap them in some fresh paper to let them rest. Okay? Just like that. Ribs are done and resting, so now we're going to make the potato salad. The potatoes are cooked, the eggs are cooked. So the first thing we need to do now is make the dressing. So it's a mayonnaise-based dressing. We're going to use 2 big tablespoons of mayonnaise. We're going to use about a teaspoon. And about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a touch of sugar, about half a teaspoon. And we're going to put in about a tablespoon of white vinegar. And finish it with some salts. Is a pepper. Throw a nice pinch of dill in here too. And just mix it up. Delicious. Okay, to that, we're gonna add 3 gherkins. Just cut nice and small. You can use regular dill pickles, but I have gherkins and I want that little bit of sweetness. Some gherkins in. Now we're going to add a bit of minced onion. Just like always when you're dicing or mincing an onion, leave the root end on. Put it flat. Make a couple horizontal slices, making sure to keep your fingers up. Rotate it. A couple horizontal slices, or vertical slices rather. And that's enough onion. Maybe a little too much, but that's alright. So onion in the bowl. And you could use green onion for this, you could use white onion, whatever you want. Now potatoes. So these are yellow potatoes. If you use white potatoes, they're going to fall apart. Yellow potatoes are waxier, so they keep their structure better when they're cooked. So, and you can use fingerling potatoes or any kind of waxy variety. Okay, all the potatoes are in. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. These are hard boiled and cooled. Okay, eggs are peeled. I always find it easiest to pull the yolk out because it's not going to dice up like the white. So we'll pull the yolk out and we're actually just going to break this over potatoes. And now we'll dice the whites. And add those to the bowl. Now let's give this a mix. You could add a little paprika to this. You could add anything you want really. There's not really any rules. Bacon's really good in it. Delicious. Okay, next up we're going to make coleslaw. Okay? Alright, our ribs are done. Our potato salad's done. Now we're going to make a coleslaw. And I decided I was going to make a glaze for the ribs as well. So in this pot here, I have equal parts honey bourbon and maple syrup. And to that, I'm going to add 1 star anise. All we're going to do is cook that down. In the meantime, I'm going to peel my carrots. This is going to be not a traditional coleslaw with cabbage. It's going to be carrot, apple, sunflower seeds, and raisins, and it's going to be more mustard based than mayonnaise based, since we already have our potato salad, which is mayonnaise based. So we're just going to grate our carrot on a cheese grater, like this. Should be enough. Add this to our bowl. We'll grate our apple the same way. Just scoop all this apple in with our carrots. Make sure you get any juice that came out. Okay, to this we're going to add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Going to add about a teaspoon of grainy mustard. Pinch of sugar, touch of salt, and a pinch of pepper. And then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of raisins and about a tablespoon of sunflower seeds. We're going to mix it up. Okay, coleslaw is done, potato salad's done, ribs are done, glaze is almost done. All that's left to do is plate this up. So I'm going to cut the ribs, and then we'll plate, okay? So there you have it. Oven roasted, dry rub ribs with potato salad and apple and carrot coleslaw, and finished with a honey bourbon and maple glaze. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Chef Ben Kelly, or on Facebook at Ben Kelly Cooks. You can obviously like and follow me here on Facebook, or check out my website, howtonotburnshit.com. I'll be back next week with another video cooking random stuff. Have a great week.